Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday Reflection. It's Andrew. We're talking about Epiphany. Um, and this isn't going to be a very long reflection. It's just going to be some basic information ahead of our Epiphany service, which is tomorrow, Thursday, January 6th at 6 p.m. here at the church. It's also going to be streamed online as well. But I wanted to talk to you a bit about what we're going to be doing with regards to chalk. Last year, I talked about this a little bit, but I wanted to go ahead and just give us a refresher. Um, at the service, well, rewind. The Epiphany service is when we recognize the arrival of the Magi, the three wise men, as depicted in the Gospel. Um, and as much as we do it in our Christmas pageant here in the nave, when the three wise women, when Helen and Lila and Waverly came down the aisle, the Magi didn't arrive probably when Jesus was born. It's not like the shepherds came in and because the angel had said, go and find the babe wrapped in swaddling cloth lying in a manger, and then immediately after that the wise men showed up. No, actually, contrary to many a Christmas pageant and or Hollywood movie, the Magi arrived and found Jesus when he was probably 2 years old. If you go read the Gospels, it says that they were they found them in the house. So perhaps that's to say that Mary and Joseph stayed in Bethlehem for a while, got a house, or got some kind of more permanent lodging. Joseph maybe found work as a tekton, a carpenter, or actually more likely a stone cutter, because there's not that much lumber in Israel. But anyway, all that to say is that so Jesus was probably 2, hence Herod coming in and saying, slay all the innocents, all the children, 2 years of age and younger. Because, again, the Magi had told Herod when they saw the star at its rising. And so he knew that the child must have been about 2 years old. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. The Magi arrive, and they give gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And we celebrate the arrival of the Magi on Epiphany. And so even though our Christmas pageant had Magi coming way back in December, this is when they actually arrive. So our creche out on the floor in the nave doesn't have the Magi figurines in it. They will arrive for Epiphany. And it's customary in churches to bless chalk. And the reason we bless chalk is that we take it to our homes and we scribe above our doors a formula that is a blessing, or at least a shorthand version of a blessing. It's got its roots, it is a callback in a way to the blood of the lamb blood over the lintel of the doors for the people of Israel in Egypt before the Exodus, before Passover. So marking the door in that way has a heritage to it, although clearly it's not the same. We're not trying to co-opt Passover. Well, we kind of do in Easter, but that's putting that aside. So we scribe our doors with this formula: 20 plus C plus M plus B plus 22. So obviously that would be the year 2022. The letters C, M, and B standing for the traditional names given to the Magi. The names don't appear in the gospel text, but church tradition and lore has given them the names of Caspar, Melchior, and Balthazar. And so C, M, and B would be those individuals. And then the crosses that dot in between those letters and numbers stand for, you guessed it, Christ. And also C, M, and B stand for the abbreviation of the Latin prayer Christus Mansionem Benedicat, which means may Christ bless this house. And that is the kind of crux of why we chalk our door, is that we write that inscription over our door so that we are inviting Christ into this house. I mean, the whole thrust of the Magi being in the gospel is that it is Christ being present and born for not just the Jewish people, but also the Gentiles, those who were not of Jewish descent, those who were outside of God's chosen people of Israel. So the shepherds that come, they're the people of Israel, they're Jewish. But the Magi come from far off lands that are outside of Israel. They are Gentiles, as it were. And so that's kind of the balance of, you have the people of Israel having access to Jesus right from the start, as well as the Gentiles themselves. And so when we inscribe on our door, we are like the Gentiles being welcomed into the people of God through Christ. And so we're inviting Christ into our house, much in the same way that the Magi were invited into the home of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. Also, with your chalk is going to come a little prayer that you can say as you are chalking the door above your front door. And so there's that. Also available is little bitty crowns with C, M, and B in 2022 written there for you. And that is going to just be there for you if you wanted to, like, stick it in your office or put it next to your phone or wherever you want to put it. So it's kind of like a little marker for you to just put wherever you want. So those are some of the little tokens, the signs of our Epiphany journey. So I encourage you to mark your door and leave it up for all of Epiphany tide, or leave it up for the whole year, really. And just let it fade away naturally. You could re-up it with some fresh chalk if it fades away, or just let it go until it fades out. Your choice. But those are what we're going to be doing in addition to our regular Epiphany service. And also, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about why we do the thing we do anyway. So let me know if you have any questions. Hit me up. My email is andrew@redeemerbrookhaven.com. Or just go to www.redeemerbrookhaven.com. Links in the description. And as always, dear ones, God bless.